Okay, so here there is a hidden loot area, which is a cabinet. So here you can see there's a cabinet, and it's nothing. And there's a second cabinet behind this table. You can't access it. You gotta destroy the table. But if you have a hatchet, you can. Hatchet or improvised hatchet is what you need. There's a few places where you have to have hatchets. Very often you need a hatchet or a hacksaw or this, but there's one place where you need a hatchet. A hammer will also do the trick. If we break this down, before it gets too dark, you'll now see that there is a cabinet here. Hurrah! Hello fellow survivors, and welcome back to the Stalker main run, where we are still in Desolation Point, the place we spawned all that time back ago, and we are on day 21. Time back ago, that doesn't sound right, but anyway, here we are. We are finally about to leave, because we are done here in Desolation Point. We could stay here longer, because we do have the means to survive with our weapons and everything, and we got fishing as well. We got 2 bear hides curing, so yeah, we could stay here if we wanted to, but I think it's time to leave. We might come back another time. And since the last episode, I did ask what do people want me to do, and I was leaning towards going to Ash Canyon, and it seems like most people agreed with that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to leave the home of Desolation Point, and we're going to head to Ash Canyon. We are, however, going to do it in order of going to Timberwolf Mountain first. So what we're going to do is we're more or less going to beeline straight to Timberwolf Mountain, go through Coastal Highway and Pleasant Valley, and I don't think we're going to stop very many places along the way, and just get to Timberwolf Mountain, and then we're going to go to Summit right away. And that's why we don't need to stop anywhere on the way, because on the summit we'll get everything we need. And then after we've been to Summit and taken some of the loot down, we'll go to Ash Canyon, and in Ash Canyon we're going to get the backpack, and then we're going to set up shop in Ash Canyon. We're going to stay in Ash Canyon for a while as well, and make that our home, which is a great region, by the way. So that's what we're going to do. So let's just sort ourselves out. And if you think that I sound a bit nasal, that's right. I have been sick for a long time, because I got a virus, and then that turned into sinusitis. I'm on antibiotics, so much better now, but there's still some, junk in the old system still, so I probably sound a little bit nasal, but that's just how it is. Okay, so we're going to get ready to leave. So the question is, what should we take? So I'm very tempted to take these 3 saplings, because we need them for the sled, or the trottoir. But the problem is that we need a 4th one, so that would require getting a 4th one and then curing that. And I think I'd rather just leave these here as backups, and instead find 4 more on the way to Timberwolf Mountain, or in Timberwolf Mountain, or in Ash Canyon, or something like that. So we're going to leave these. We're going to leave all of these hides as well. All of this stuff we're going to leave. All of this. They're all going to be supplies for when we come back. So instead we're going to take everything else that might be of use. This also we could probably stay here. So let's have a little look here. Books, do you want to take any books? Not really. I don't think we need to take any of these books, to be honest. We can leave the matches too. How about in here? So here we got more matches, accelerant. We got, this sort of stuff. We don't need to bring any clothing. We got all the clothing, really. And that's it here. What about tools and whatnot? And here we got some food. We don't need to bring food for the time being anyway. Arrowheads, we can leave all that stuff here. Do I need to refuel my lantern? I don't think so. It looks pretty solid. The bow isn't looking too hot, but I'm not too worried about that. I'll make another one later. Got the flask. Tools, I'm not sure, but we got a hacksaw. I think we'll leave all this stuff here, to be honest. I might take the bullets with me. because we might find a rifle, and or we will find a rifle rather, and on the summit. I think that's probably it, to be honest. Other than that, I think we're just going to take food, and that's it. We don't really need anything else. We got everything. Yeah, 1 liter in here. I think we got everything we need, to be honest. I don't think we really need anything. Yeah, I guess so. What's the temperature and all that stuff outside? Terrible weather, but we're gonna go anyway. So have we got any moose meat? Yeah, we do. So I'm gonna leave the bear meat and only take moose meat. And we're gonna actually travel in this blizzard because there are no wolves around. And I have quite a lot of space, so I'm going to take 1, 2 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. That's good enough. And then I think that's it. We'll leave this for now. We'll come back here another time. Goodbye, Desolation Point. We're leaving. We'll stop here and there to warm up. Other than that, we're good. If I'm in shelter, I'm actually barely cold at all. So we're just going to stay in shelter where we can. We'll run a little bit so we can get up the top side. When in cover, we have hardly any temperature loss at all. We got 12 bullets, 9 arrows, so the bow is not looking hot, and 3 of these, and some stones. We should be good though. Nothing is out in the blizzard except Timberwolves. I'd rather not run, but I'll run as long as the blizzard is raging and I'm not in cover. There we can walk. Terrible, terrible weather, but it's okay. There's no point hanging around because there's nothing really to do. If we're hanging around, we might as well hang around and wait for like the bear to cure and kill the bear again or the moose again or whatever. We don't need to do any of that stuff. So off we go. I don't know if it will even get cold by the time we get there. There we are. All good. So we're going to beeline almost straight there. We might stop to rest, of course. We might stop for food. But we're not really looking for anything. Like, not really. We're not really looking for any kind of supplies along the way, because the summit will have almost everything in this difficulty. So there isn't really anything we need to find, at least not for the time being anyway. So we can pretty much just beeline straight there. We'll stop a couple places though, nevertheless. I still have parasite risk, but that should be fine. I think I'll be able to get to the mine without taking any cold damage. Yeah, looking good, I think. I'll narrate some more when the sound isn't so noisy. I would like to get these, actually. Let's just grab these. Because if you make the bandage, the old man's beard, it's lighter than the antiseptic, so it's always better. Getting cold now. And there we go. We actually made it without getting cold. That's Stalker for you. Alright, let's just eat a little bit. Let's eat a small piece of this. We do have coal in here, but I'm not sure how much I want to actually pick up of the... Oh wait, I shouldn't have brought this stuff. I should have left one of these. Oh well. That's fine. Let's see what... Oh yeah, of course I've been here. I went into... that's right. Alright, I'm going to take a few pieces of coal with me, but we don't really need it. I'm going to take like 4 or something. Because we're going to find even more coal in the mine. Heading to Pleasant Valley. So, and also it's not as cold on Stalker as it is on Interloper. Even in the blizzard. So I'm not that bothered about coal, to be honest. I will grab maple if I see it. I only know some spots. I'm not too worried about that. We do need to make another bow at some point, but we don't need to do it right now. We got other means of hunting. We will find a rifle on the summit, and we will likely find a variation rifle in Nash Canyon too. What's my pry bar looking like? 25. Let's just leave this pry bar here. Grab it later. Bullets. Yeah. Usually find revolver bullets just lying around. Painkillers. We don't need that, but we'll pick up. Flare. Sure. Gloves. We can leave the gloves. Chips, we'll take that. Rifle bullet, take that too. It was kind of tempting to just stay in Desolation Point, because we easily could just stay there. There is a challenge called, well, it varies what it's called. Some call it the Escape From challenge, or the Keg Stand. It varies what people call it. It's basically a challenge where you have to survive 50 days in a region. Doesn't matter what difficulty you do it on. You can easily do it. Even an interloper with no weapons, you can do it. And we could easily have survived in Desolation Point because we had a load of food and wood and animals and resources. It would have been fine. And part of me kind of wanted to stay there just to see, see how that goes. But, we don't really need to do it. I kind of doused it too fast there. Take the matches, take the flare. Good leather, sure. But I think I want to keep moving. I want to go to a different area and I want to get the backpack too. Leave the book. Right, Blizzard's still raging. We're going to go via the cave on the right into Skeeter's basement and then into Coastal Highway. Stay in cover where we can. You can see we're barely cold when we're in cover. Quickly check this destroyed house. Can find tools there sometimes. Not today though, I don't think. Then we're going to check this cave over here. Actually warm in the cover. Should be a deer carcass here. Or a corpse. Probably corpse today. Oh, neither, okay. Anything in here? Some wood. We don't need that. We can keep going. Nothing for us here. This region, this connector region can be dangerous because of the wolves that prowl here. They can kind of ambush you around corners. So it's good to come through with a weapon if you got one. But we don't have to worry about that. Because the blizzard's raging. It looks like it picked up its pace because now I'm getting very cold, even in cover. Minus 24, yeah. You might want to maybe sleep for an hour in here, just to warm up a bit. Let's see what we got in here though. We got spray paint, which we don't need.
Now we're
yeah, we can take the lantern fuel, that's fine. Refuel our lantern. We don't really need the accelerant, but we can take it, I guess. Another flare. There's so many flares on Stalker, it's insane. Bandage.
I think I can use
We don't need any of this stuff. Jeans. Oh, climbing socks. Now we do need. They're better than wool socks. So. Okay. And then jeans. These are worse. So drop that. Drop the wool socks. Drop the. We'll sort it out another time. I'm going to craft the lichen. I'm going to drop a couple things here. Let's pick it up on our way back. So I'm going to drop, for example, the antiseptic. And the second painkiller, we'll drop this painkiller. One bandage we can drop. We can also drop, or rather we can refuel our lantern. We don't need all these flares, so drop 2 flares. And I guess that's probably it for now, I guess. I guess so. Yeah, right. Now, how much cloth do I have? Just that. And I guess I could harvest, though, the wool socks. Let's just harvest those. Sorry, the sports socks. They're terrible anyway. We could repair something. Like these sports socks. They take forever, though. Let's repair them later. Let's check the weather out, seeing as we're warm. And we'll probably keep moving. Okay, it stopped. But now I gotta be careful of the wolves. They should be on my left. We're getting a bit heavy because we're tired. Which will slow us down. There is a formula for that, which I've forgotten. I think it's something like 3% per kilo over or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it goes. So 10 kilos over, you go. I think it has to be more than that, because if you go, I think if you go 20 kilos over, I think you can still move. But you move very, very slowly, and if you go more than 20 or 25 or whatever it is, then you can't move. Okay, so now it's actually plus 8 degrees. We smell because we're carrying a bunch of moose meat. Other than that, we're good. Yeah, it's a sprain risk. We could mitigate it slightly by eating the leftover of this meat. And then also having a drink. And then we'll mitigate it for a very short period. And now we're going to enter Coastal Highway. In Coastal Highway there's quite a lot of good loot. But we don't really need any of it. We will check a couple places. Oh, look at this, it's getting into a clear day. Neato. It's probably even warmer now. 8 still, okay. We can check this car quickly. Can be, this used to be a rifle spawn. But I don't think it is anymore. Gold message. Mento cache. Oh really? This is by the rabbits den. I didn't know there was a cache there. Oh, this is because an antelope with a cache doesn't really do that much, but and we're not gonna go there though. So we'll leave that. We're gonna head pretty much straight to the mine. We'll go across the ice. And we'll head up to the mine. We're warm, so we can pretty much just walk. We're gonna walk until we get too tired, effectively. I can see, I think some lockers have washed up in the distance, so we're gonna check those. It was recently a blizzard, so the beach coming will have reset. But there's, again, nothing we really need. Is that maple right there? I think that is maple, yeah. Let's take the maple, actually. So you can find 2 more, and we'll leave them to cure in either Timberwolf Mountain, or we'll take them with us to Ash Canyon and have him cure there, because then we can build the sled. Okay, we're tired now and overcumbered, but that's fine. So this episode is going to be a walking episode, just so be prepared for that. It's walking and talking, that's what this is. With a slightly hoarser voice than usual, but it's been a while since I have recorded, and I just thought I want to get back into it. The little baby, he started kindergarten. And that's daycare for Americans. And, you know, every 2 weeks, some sort of illness is brought home. And it's a series of unfortunate events where he got sick and we had to stay home. And then both me and my wife got sick. And in the beginning, I just thought, well, this is a cold. Nothing to worry about. And then suddenly I just got so much worse. And had become bacterial, and I've been sick for a while, but I feel much better now. I feel this more or less normal, except that still got some mucus in that, but that could take a long time. So I figured, like, oh, you know, the voice is almost back to normal, might as well just record a little bit. You might have to forgive a slightly hoarser voice than usual. Mr. Bear is out. And we got massive scenery here. Look how far we can see on this clear day. You can see everything. Like pretty much everything. This is a really clear day. Where we want to go is kind of up there, kind of. There's 2 routes up there. We're going to take the one via the log sort, I think it's called. But it's slightly faster. We'll leave the rest. We're more or less not really going to loot Coastal Highway for the most part. It's going to check a few places. We'll come back here though. It's quite likely that you'll find a rifle here in Coastal Highway, so because I hardly ever play Stalker, I only play Interloper. There's so much loot that you don't get on Interloper, so therefore I don't know all the rifle spawns and stuff by heart. I know a fair amount of them, although some of them belong to the old loot tables, not the new ones. Let's see what we got in here.
Could end up being useful.
We can harvest it. I'll leave that. But I'm not too worried about that, especially because you got this thing called the Summit, and you got everything you want in the Summit. You can actually, even though it hasn't rendered, you can see where we're going to go. So the mine is up there, and you can see they got these kind of like different. You can see the slopes. See, it's like this. So basically, when we go to log saw, which is here, it's got a road that leads up here, and up there, and up there. Kind of. That's basically what we're doing. I think you can see the tower though. The tower is up there. Yeah, you can see it right there. It's the tower right there, and the mine is there. We're gonna go to the mine. We'll probably sleep either in the mine or in Thomson's. We'll see. But yeah, this is a walking and talking episode. In hindsight, maybe I should have waited longer to record or do something else, so you don't get a podcast-ish episode with a hoarser voice, but here we are. All the berries are out. Are you like not afraid or something? There you go. Very nice. When Coastal Highway's like this, it's beautiful. I mean, you can see everything. I mean, some stuff doesn't render far enough. Like, you can see the main structures like the tower from miles away. But then other things like the rocks and the trees, they are sprites in the distance, and then they turn into rendering as you get closer. And I have everything on max. I have everything as far as you can see, and this is as good as it gets. But it is really fantastic nevertheless. You don't usually get views this good though. This is really, really clear, really open. This is one of the more open maps in the game. The Pleasant Valley also is very open, but it's got a lot of stuff in it in the open path. So I would argue that Coastal Highway on the ice is probably even more open and flat than Pleasant Valley. However, it's not as open as Forsaken Airfield, where you can see across the entire map from one end to another. And therein lies the deception, because when you have open maps like this, when you have a clear day like this, you can see everything, absolutely everything. But then you go out in the open, like on the open ice here, right? And then a blizzard hits, or fog hits, and you can get completely lost. So it's dangerous. Okay, this wolf is following me. This wolf right there, you see it? So he was going, he had detected me, so he could smell me. And then he went to the location that he could smell me when I was detected, which was where he went over there. And then now he has detected me again. So now he's going to where he smelled me, which is pretty much that ahead. And he's going to keep doing that until he catches up with me. And I think he moves, because I'm heavy anyway, he moves slightly faster than I do. So he's going to eventually catch up. But that's no biggie, because we got a lot of deterrence. It's still warm, so I'm just going to keep going. Okay, he gave up by the log there. Well, here we are at the log salt. There's a wolf right here. He ran off. I have the wolf coat, so... keep an eye out here, though, for hatchets. Because on these tree stumps right here, these ones, you can find hatchets, like, logged into them. I don't think we have any now, though. And if you're not, you often find spray paint instead. Yeah. Here's the road I was talking about, so I want to take this road right here. There's a passage in this road leading up to the mine. There's more than one route up there. We're going to take this route, though. From here, there shouldn't be that many wolves. That one, I think, lost track of me because of the pathing issues. But from here, it should be right. So here, there is a path up to the mine. And a lot of people actually don't know about this path. I always noticed it. I always thought it was pretty apparent. But I guess it's kind of hidden if you don't really look that closely. So the road we're walking on now continues up here. You can tell by the logs, right? So this is the actual road. But it's actually this slope right here. Right up here. This is a path you can actually walk. You know, I guess it does look a little bit hidden, but to me it stands out because it's more flat, like it's more level than the rest of this terrain. So when I was first there, I immediately thought, I wonder if you can go up there. And you can. This leads up to the trailer next to the mine. So this is one of the routes you can take. And it's arguably the fastest route. Rather, the other route is to go via the... let's check this guy. Via the Quonset garage. It's not the garage technically, but you go up different slopes and get to the tower, and then you get on the other side of this. We're not going to check this trailer. There can be stuff in this trailer. I think you can find some good loot in here. I think it's what is it again? Tools. There we are. See, so it leads up here. So it's kind of hidden. It's kind of hidden, but it's it clearly connects to this path right here. We're not even going to check the trailer. We don't need to. And then this path up here again is the same thing. Looks kind of hidden, I suppose. But this leads up to the mine. Hey, no parasites. And this path here leads down to the huts, I think it is. Or rather the cabins, yeah. Oh, that is. That's what that is. And then we're going to look through the mines. And in the mines also you can find a bunch of stuff. On Interloper, these mines, which is called the Cinder Hills mines, is always worth going through at some point. Because you find a stim in here. There's a guaranteed stim inside it. Do I have any stims? Yeah, one, yeah. On Interloper, stims are fixed. They're always found in the same places. There's one or two random ones. But the rest are all fixed in specific locations. But on lower difficulties, that doesn't happen. You do have some stims that are always found, like on the summit, that sort of thing. But mostly they can be found here and there. So it's not as important on lower difficulties to go through here. But it's a pretty big mine. You could find a stim here on Stalker as well. And just misclute, you know. You can also usually find rifle rounds in here. So it's worth checking out. We might sleep on the other side, or we might sleep in Thomson's Crossing. It's worth going to Thomson's Crossing just to get the recipe. I want the name of the recipe. Flare. I would use a flare, but they're so loud, you know. They look great now, but they're so noisy. We'll loot stuff around here. Some stuff anyway. More lantern fuel. More matches. That's good. We're going to find a load of matches in Ash Canyon, you'll see.
That'll come handy.
In Ash Canyon, there's matches all over the place because they spawn near the bridges. Sometimes you can find 3 sets of matches on one bridge. It's insane. Usually cardboard matches though. But when you go to the gold mine from Ash Canyon, you can sometimes find like dozens and dozens of it. We're going to go over here, I think. It doesn't really matter which way you go. I'm just checking on the corners here. Okay. Here you can also find a stim, an interloper here. So we got a revolver round.
What have we here?
We will make ammunition, by the way, one day. We'll leave those tablets, pick them up another time. Hey, more revolver rounds. How much tinder do I have, actually? Not that much. Let me douse this and just make tinder out of this right away. 4 tinder plugs. Gives us a bit more fire starting capabilities. Now we have 6 of these rather than 2. There we go. And I think we get to the atrium. And here you want to go left rather than right. If it is where I think it is. Or is that further? I often get confused which direction is what. Because I can remember because there's some stairs you have to take, and I can never remember if you start at the top of those stairs from Coastal Highway or from Pleasant Valley. I can never remember. We'll find out though. But a general rule is just stick left. Okay, so here we have another one of the workbenches. We got granola bar, we'll take that. We'll check this stuff too. I guess we'll take the book, I guess.
This stuff will come in handy.
Sewing kit too, we'll take that. Ketchup chips. I'll leave that. We could take that because the firearm cleaning kit is kind of low, I think. No, it's not.
If I can drop any of this gear.
I'll leave the rest. I've tried ketchup chips once in my life. I'll tell you about it in a sec. Let me just find where this ledge is first. I think it might be in this room. Yeah. So we're approaching from the other side here, you see. This is the atrium, as I call it. You got also some stuff down there. We're not going to check every little thing. And in here, there's this ledge right there. This ledge here. And you want to get to that ledge and check it. And the interloper is one of the possible locations for the stim, but on this difficulty we're looking for ammunition. And it looks like there actually is a stim there as well. So it's somewhere you want to check always. Doesn't matter what difficulty you're playing on, you always want to go that little ledge. It's very easy. You just, once you get this atrium, just walk until you find a fork in the road and then go right. You can't really get lost in these mines. They seem confusing, but they are actually pretty linear. Most of the side paths are just little dead ends you get to, and that's it. There's not much to it than that. It's a couple times we have two choices on where to go, but they usually lead to the same place. So there we are. This is a special ledge I was talking about. As you can see, there actually is a stim this time as well.
I think I can use this.
Which is great. Even more revolver bullets. And in here, energy bar. And shoot, we'll leave the shoes. We don't need the shoes. And there we go. How's that? So it's worth going through this mine. It's a good mine to go through. I've had ketchup chips once, so I live in Norway and we do not sell them here. They taste kind of similar to vinegar crisps, I guess. Salt and vinegar. But I tried them once because a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, it's a while ago now, some viewers of mine put together a Canada box. And they sent me a box of Canada stuff, which was great. In it I had... it was like a Canada wool toque, you know. Socks of Justin Trudeau. We're going to go to Thomson's Crossing, by the way. We're going to go down here. A load of like maple syrup and books on Canada and a bunch of stuff. And of course there were ketchup chips in that. And that was very nice. And I ate all of them. Here's a wolfie. We're going to go down here. And that was very nice of them, of course. Get rid of this wolf. We'll probably get a sprain here, but it's okay. That's a few years ago, though. If you do want to send me ketchup chips, of course, you're welcome to. Use the business address. I don't feel obliged to that. But they taste very similar to salt and vinegar crisps. I don't think they even hit him, actually. There's also a bear around here, so we gotta be a bit careful. Depends on where he is. Yeah, you run. So, wolves have a chance to flee when they detect you, and the base chance of that is like 5% or something like that. So if they spot you, they just run away. But if you have the wolf coat or the bear coat, it adds, I believe it's 20% risk or something like that. So it's like a 1 in 4 chance, which is quite a lot. You know, so every 4th wolf you see flees. That still means that 3 out of 4 wolves will still go for you, of course. But 1 in 4 will run away. That doesn't stack, by the way. So if you have the bear coat and the wolf coat, or 2 of them, you don't get double. You don't get like 40% or whatever. It's just a one-time thing. But because I have the wolf coat, I have this. See, remind wolves to keep that distance, right? So because I have that, they are more likely to run away. And it helps, you know. Sometimes you don't want the wolf to run away, because sometimes you want to actually kill the wolf. But I mean, when you get to that stage, then it's a first world problem, isn't it? Until then, going through areas with wolves, it's nice to have some increased Terran chance. Okay, so in here, in Thomson's Crossing, we're only going to loot 2 things.
I'm feeling so drained.
And it's mostly because we have to sleep here. We're going to go into the rural store, just because the rural store has a bunch of stuff, and we get a lot of loot in here, including food and whatnot. Especially on lower difficulties, the roll store has a lot of stuff in it. And we're going to go into Thomson's Crossing itself. And get the recipe there, the food recipe. And some other things. And we'll sleep there too. Okay. Let's loot the roll store. Should be a bunch of food and stuff in here. I like using this. Just make sure. So yeah. So on Interloper it's also worth coming here because you always find matches in here. On lower difficulties, I'm not sure if that's the case, but you can usually find a bunch of stuff. Oats are guaranteed. You always find oats in here. Crackers are great. Looks like we got a drink in here. Is it an energy drink? It is an energy drink. You don't find those on Interloper. There's matches. Hurrah! So many matches. Look how many matches we got already. Look at that. Crazy. We got a potato. Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in the stew. Sewing kit. We got more than we need here, really, but... we got flour. Yeah, we want that. We need a skillet, but we'll find that. Check these. We won't need the book. We'll probably leave some stuff behind here, though.
This'll come in handy.
And potato, and then carrots in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of food in here, wow. That's a lot of potatoes. Way more than you get on other difficulties. I don't think we're needing all that stuff. We'll probably leave some stuff behind here in Thomson's Crossing. Alright. So let's, I guess we can check this box. You should check back of pickup trucks too. Yeah, you can find boxes, but you can also find loot in the snow. If you just look very closely in a pickup truck's bed, you can find tools like hammers and stuff in there. So look close. Do I have a hammer? Sorry, hatchet? Yeah, I do. So we can do the secret cabinet while we're here. Oh, weekly bingo. 8 PM. Oh, we missed it. Alright. So in here there's quite a lot of stuff to loot. Let's start with the office. We'll sleep once we're done looting. I don't really need to loot any of this stuff, not really, but since we're here we might as well. These kind of drawers have a chance of coffee, so they're usually always worth checking. Even if that chance is small. More bullets.
I could use this.
We got sports socks, you don't need that. Grape soda. That's Stacy's grape soda, I think it was. Wool socks, we don't need that either. We'll put them here though. Bullets in the bathroom, because why not? That's where I keep my bullets too. Kids will never find it in there. I'm gonna take a liter of this. Getting quite heavy here. Quite a few more things to check. Take the charcoal. I'll show you there's a secret looting area here. This container.
Someone's
hey,
stash.
A flash up. Someone's stash. That was kind of funny how he said that. Nuts and stuff. Then we can't go up there. Okay, so here there is a hidden loot area, which is a cabinet. So here you can see there's a cabinet, and it's nothing. And there's a second cabinet behind this table. You can't access it. You gotta destroy the table. But if you have a hatchet, you can. Hatchet or improvised hatchet is what you need. There's a few places where you have to have hatchets. Very often you need a hatchet or a hacksaw or this, but there's one place where you need a hatchet. A hammer will also do the trick. If we break this down, before it gets too dark, you'll now see that there is a cabinet here. Hurrah! Doesn't have to be anything in it though. Shoes. I'm gonna leave those behind. It's completely random. It's just like any other container. So you're not guaranteed to find anything good in there. The best I've ever seen, I think, oh, broth, is a Mackinac jacket. But it's random. It's just like any other loot container.
Food.
Finding so much stuff here. So heavy now. Shell. I don't think we need that, but we're gonna loot everything before we organize ourselves and sleep and all that stuff. Okay. Sardines. Let's loot all these drawers too for food. Hey, matches. So many matches. One side at a time, I think. I would like a skillet, if I can find one. Or a cooking pot. We'll find all that stuff in Timberwolf Mountain and Ash Canyon anyway, though. But still. Wouldn't say no. More herbal tea. And leave some stuff behind here, I think. Don't forget to look up and loot these other cabinets too. Oops. Load of food. Oh, there is a skillet there. Right there. Skillet! Hooray! We need the recipe though. Oh, I see it. I can see the recipe. Here it is. Thomson's Family Stew. Made with vegetables. And it is this one. And we got everything except the corn. The corn used to be you only found it in bunkers. But now you can find them around, I think. But they're kind of rare. This requires level 4 cooking though, is the only thing. So I'm not going to be using that anytime soon. We're probably like, what level are we cooking? 2 or something? I assume a 2. 3, okay, yeah. Alright, we looted everything, I think. Nope, not these ones. We're going to sleep first. On this inventory when we wake up. We'll sleep in one of these beds. We'll drop the saplings too, so they can cure as well. Let's do this. Drop the saplings. Let's eat this little piece of moose meat that we didn't finish, this one. And then eat another piece of meat. Those are heavy. We might drink one of these. Stacy's grape soda. Named after Stacy Plays, one of the early backers of this game. He's a big YouTuber. I think she's got 2 million subscribers or something. So they named it after her. Still waiting for Sax snacks. Not that I'm anywhere close to Stacy's size. Oh yeah, you know what? I put 10 hours out of habit because I play Interloper, and on Interloper you can only sleep 10 hours. Of course, on Stalker you can sleep 12 hours. I just didn't think about it. Then we're going to continue, but I think I would like to be not heavy. So, all right, nice. We're going to take the saplings, and we are way too heavy. So, start by eating. 0.5. Fine. And I'm just going to write get summit. I'm going to just write lots of misc loot in Thomson's. Alright, so what can I dump? A lot of stuff. We got so many matches for one. So we got these books. I'm going to leave the books behind. We don't need this cedar wood either. Look at all these matches we got. It's kind of stupid to carry them around, but I don't like dumping matches in places that aren't bases. But we'll drop the cardboard matches anyway. Alright, we can drop the reclaimed wood as well. We can drop 2 of these accelerants. We can drop some painkillers. Drop the best ones, really. You can drop the antiseptic because you have the wound dressing now. Clothing, yeah, we don't need any of this stuff. Drop. Let's do food last. Let's refuel our lantern. Nice. We don't need 2 firearm cleaning kits, I guess. Drop that. Let's drop 2 flares as well. We don't really need the flashlight, not really. I'm just keeping it because it's useful at night. But you know what, I don't think we really need it. Let's just drop it. Especially now that we have the storm lantern, so let's drop that. Fishing, okay, I don't know about that. We don't need these torches as much anymore. Let's drop 1 torch here. We can drop one of these recycled cans because we have a skillet now. We don't need the fishing tip up really, but we'll take it. We can take all this stuff, that's fine. And then food, so we're still very heavy food wise. Flour, like I would like to bring all the flour and stuff because we can use it for cooking, but I guess we don't really need it right now. We could leave this for later. Let's drop all the cooking ingredient stuff. And we'll just pick it up later. Same with the potatoes. We don't need the potatoes. Or the carrots. Oops. Because they are part of recipes that we're not going to be using for a while. So I think like this is fine. Yeah, we got quite a lot of food still. Let's drop some teas also. We don't need all these teas. That's good enough, I think. Yeah, I think this is fine. Alright, now we're light again. Now we can go. We're moving so much faster. How nice. Now we're gonna head pretty much straight there. How was the temperature? -10, okay. Let's reload this. Grab the shell casings. I'm not gonna check any of this stuff. We don't really need any of it. I would loot everything on the way, but there's no point because there's so much loot on Stalker for one thing, but we already have a lot of stuff. We have everything we need. We don't really need more loot. There's very few items that we need. Sure, we could find some better gear, we could find a gun and so on, but we don't really need to look for it. Particularly because we're going to go to the summit anyway, and the summit will have all the things that we're missing. You find pretty much everything that you need at the summit. There's only a few items you can't find there. So, there's nothing we really need on the way. And if we loot everything on the way to the summit, we're just going to end up carrying a bunch of stuff with us all the time. And we're going to be heavy the whole way there. And it's not really worth it. Instead, we'll just effectively save the region for later. We're just going to pass through. And later we'll come back and stay here. For now, our goal is pretty much Ash Canyon. We're going to make Ash Canyon our home. And in Ash Canyon, we're going to loot everything and set up a base. We're just going to go through Timberwolf Mountain. Now, because there's so much loot on the summit, we're likely going to go to the summit and then take the stuff down to the Mountaineer's hut. And then from there, go to Ash Canyon, I think. And Ash Canyon is great. In Ash Canyon, we'll probably go to the gold mine first. But yeah, first off though, let's get to Timberwolf Mountain. A lot of bullets, it's good. We got a lot of arrows, which is great, but it will break soon though. At this level of archery, it won't last that long. Okay, we got 2 more maple here. This means we have enough for our sled. Once they're cured, we can leave them curing in the Mountaineer's hut or something. The sled is handy, especially for loot, but it's only really good on flat surfaces, so on the summit it won't really help much. We're not going to be able to put a bunch of stuff in the sled and then drag it down the mountain. But you don't really need to though, because there is a shortcut from the summit down to the Mountaineer's hut, where even if you're very heavy, it's only going to take you about 5 minutes to get there with all the loot, so it's very, very efficient. I'll show you how that works. Probably next episode. We'll see. It's pretty straightforward. Moose spawn? No, no right here. But the main use of the sled, the Troa, is that it makes it easy to take care of large kills. So when you kill a moose or a bear, they are so heavy, you can effectively quarter an entire bear or moose and fit pretty much all of the meat bags into the Troa and drag it back to base. In the past, that wasn't possible. In the past, you would harvest what you could or quarter it and then drag stuff back and forth. And it was a bit tedious, but it was the only way to really do it. But now that you have a sled, you can pretty much quarter the animal, put everything on the sled, take it back to base and do it in the base. And that's it. So that's why we're going to make it. Okay, we're here in the birch forest. So seeing as we're here, we're going to pick up all the birch we can, because then we can use it to make birch tea, which gives us some healing. So I'm going to pick up all the birch tea birch bark I can find. We do have to be a bit careful because there's a bear around here. I do love this forest. It's one of my favorite areas in the game. I'm not going to loot these guys. We'll loot them another time. I love this area because it's thick forest. Trees area are really thick, kind of hard to see. So if the bear is around here, it's kind of hard to see where he is because of all the trees that are in the way, right? The visibility is kind of limited, and I wish there were more places like this in the Long Dark, because you don't really have an area in the Long Dark that have thick forest. You have forested areas. There's the bear right there. There he is, right there. See how how hidden he is. He's very hidden in all these trees. I would kill him, but I don't need to. You have a lot of regions that have trees in it. Like Mystery Lake is effectively a massive forest. But the trees are all spaced out, kind of like how these trees are spaced out, or these trees. So it's more like you're walking in the open with trees around you. While the birch forest has this thick, close trees. I really like that. And I wish there was a region that was like that. Like the thick forest region would be really cool. That's the one thing that's missing, I think. It is scary because you can't really see. Reminds me a bit of that movie. What was it called? The Ritual? Something like that. That's kind of set in thick forest. That was a unusual and creepy movie, but anyway, enough about that. Wood. Okay, here we are in... There's usually a wolf around here. I call this area sometimes Sack's Bane, because I have died in this area once and I never forget it. It was in a tournament. You do have Long Dark tournaments sometimes. I died more or less right here to a wolf. So every now and then the community organizes tournaments. Usually it's organized by a streamer called Long Dark Forever, who you should check out. He does a lot of tournaments, but not always. There's a lot of other people who does it too. Chef Maria, one of my patrons does a Slough and Coffin, and some other ones. And usually small things with small or no prizes, more for the fun of it. But there was one tournament called, I think it was called Fearless Hunter, and the idea was to kill as many animals, particularly wolves, that you could in 30 days or whatever it was. And I entered and it went really well, and on day whatever it was, 12, 16, I was walking through this region. 2 wolves came up, shot one of them, and then I had nearly full health. I think it was 80%, and I had a load of gear and everything. And right at the last second, the wolf dodged to the right and I missed my shot, and the wolf just obliterated me, and I was kind of stunned. I was like, what? I was in a full health, rested, had good gear, and I just got destroyed by this one wolf, and I was a bit stunned, and I was like, okay, well, and I couldn't be bothered to do the tournament again. I didn't have the time to restart. But that was so that's why someone's called that place Sack's Bane. That was, I really didn't expect a single wolf to kill me that easily. But that happens sometimes. Even on Interloper, if you have the best gear possible, you can die to a single wolf. If you have watched my Road to 500 Days series where I play Interloper, I have in that series had multiple encounters where I run into a wolf and I'm effectively full health and I got double bear coat or whatever. Really good protection and everything, and then I almost died to a wolf quite a few times because they're so close. They did so much. Hey, ptarmigans. We don't really... Actually, we do need ptarmigans. But the problem is... do I want to get them now? No, we're going to get ptarmigans later. Wolves can, on the Interloper especially, they can really decimate you even with the best gear. The exception is if you have the ballistics vest. If you have the ballistics vest on, you're probably never going to die to a wolf attack if you're at full health. Even if you mess up the struggle, you probably won't die. You can actually become immune if you like. If you have the right combination of clothing and the ballistics vest, you can become immune to wolf attacks. But your clothing will take a beating, and of course the ballistics vest will eventually run out. You can't repair it. Yeah. We're going to hunt ptarmigan later. We do need ptarmigans actually, because we can make the insulated layer, which goes here, which gives us 2 degrees warmth, although we arguably don't need it on Stalker, but we can get it. And also we can upgrade our bedroll. We could upgrade this to the improvised down bedroll, which will give us some more warmth, and we need ptarmigan feathers for that too. However, unlike the other animals, the ptarmigans don't need curing. You don't need to cure the ptarmigans to use the feathers. So we don't really need to get them right now. We do need quite a bit of them though to make everything, but that's okay. They are pretty easy to hunt once you have the bow, because if you get the bow and then you switch to the fire-hardened arrows, you can just use these and kill the entire flock pretty much. They won't notice. So that's good. Okay, so here we are at the entrance to Timberwolf Mountain. Before we head up though, I'm going to quickly warm up in this prepper cache, which is always here, just to see how that goes. And what's in here. I don't think we'll take much from here, but still. And here there's a cooking pot. No cooking pot.
Wonder if the owner's around.
Hey, smarter soup. Let's actually map this for the fun of it. Didn't actually give me the actual location, but... And here you got some wood and a backpack. You can check inside these outhouses, but there's never anything there. But you can sometimes find like a pry bar sticking out, that sort of thing. Let's check in here this quickly to warm up a little bit also. Maybe we'll sleep for an hour. Why not? And in here, this is the abandoned prepper cache. This is static, it's always there. And this has been upgraded. In the past, this was just, had a few things in it, but now it has a bunch of stuff in it. And in fact, when you get here on Stalker and below, you want to turn around when you get here, because you can find revolvers laying around here. I have found it before. I don't see it right now. You can also break down the crates, of course, but I don't think we have a revolver today. Not that I can see, anyway. I mean, we already have one anyway, but... Let's check what loot we got. We're not gonna... We don't want to be heavy, though, for the rope, but still. Check these lockers.
This stuff will come in handy.
Leave the shoes. Just because you can take them doesn't mean you have to take them. And you got the grate. There's one of the few grates you can actually open in the game. You can find bullets in there. You got a storm lantern. We don't need that, so we'll leave that. Hey, a hacksaw. Is that better condition than the one I got? Yes, it is. So we're going to leave the other hacksaw here. We need the hacksaw for the summit. Although at this difficulty, I think you'll always find a hacksaw at the summit. But nevertheless, we're going to bring it anyway. You need it to open the containers there. Check all this stuff. I might sleep for an hour in here. to warm up a bit. Let's do it. Let's see for 1 hour. Alright, there we are. So, I didn't really pick up too much stuff here. Under different conditions, some of that. Let's just eat. Eat this little scrap of meat. Let's just keep eating our moose meat just because they weigh so much. And have a drink, and then we'll be light enough. Do I have coffee? I don't think I have coffee, do I? I do have the Go energy drink though. Okay, now we're going to go up the rope. This is going to wear us out. But that's okay. So we're going to go up here. It is possible to climb this rope exhausted, but I wouldn't recommend it. So we're going to go up. I don't have crampons, but I don't really need them. There we go. Didn't even get us down to half fatigue, so we are still good weight-wise. And now we just get to Mountainous Hut, really. And we can set up a base there, a temporary base. We're not going to stick around in Timberwolf Mountain, but there is so much loot in that region. Holy crap, there's much loot. Especially in lower difficulties. Because on the summit, you have so many loot crates that you'll find everything you need. So on Interloper, I very often go to the summit once I've done the main hunting. So if I spawn in Ash Canyon on Interloper, I might go to summit very early, maybe even on Timberwolf Mountain spawns. But other than that, on Interloper, you mostly want to focus on getting the bow and forging and all that stuff. And then usually what I do is once I've killed a couple bears and a moose and things are curing in the base, then I decide to go to the summit while things are curing. So I might go to summit anyway between day 12 and 20 or something like that. It varies when it happens. But on Stalker and below, there is just so much loot up there because you have more containers on lower difficulties than you do on Interloper, and there's more stuff in them too. So there's going to be a ton of loot up on the summit. So I highly recommend always going to the summit when you play Long Dark, particularly on the lower difficulties. And in addition, there are containers spread around Timberwolf Mountain that also has loot in them. They are in, how many locations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 locations around Timberwolf Mountain. There are containers, just like the ones you find on the summit, are spread around the region. On Interloper, you only find those containers on 2 locations, but on lower difficulties you find them in all of them, so all 6, and they will have loot in them too. So if you want to get everything in this region back to base, you're going to have to go back and forth quite a bit, and you might even want to have the sled at this point. You need DLC for that though. That doesn't help you with the summit, which we can actually see vaguely. There's a little outline there of the plane crash. A bit hard to see, but it's there. So we're not going to stay in Timberwolf Mountain because we're going to head to Ash Canyon and make that our home. But when we do come back to Timberwolf Mountain, we are going to have a bunch of loot. So we are going to go past some of these containers because going to Summit will take us along a route which has a lot of these containers, but we might not open them just because of space issues. Because we're going to be carrying so much stuff. But later when we come back here, after Ash Canyon most likely, there's going to be so much loot. So I think the moose is out. Is the moose out? Yeah, there he is, right there. And normally I think I would hunt the moose and kill it. And then we have food supplies here at the base. Take advantage that he's spawned, but we don't really need to do that because one thing, we already have the moose hide satchel, so we got that. We do need more food, of course, for the base, But we can always hunt the moose later, because there's load of food to be found here. There's like, you know, canned food and that sort of stuff. So we're not going to be needing food anytime soon. So I could hunt the moose, but I'm just going to leave it. Get it later. Burdock. Burdock's a cool plant, but it's not really that necessary. It basically does the same as a reishi mushroom. There's an alternative to it. Alright, so we're going to sort ourselves out here in this base and wait until morning, and then we'll head to the summit. Yeah. Hey, another hacksaw. What's this?
I could use
this is 45, that's worse. And here we have the Mountaineer's Hut. Great base. It's fantastic. Before I do anything else, let me just explain. This is, in my opinion, the best base in the game. Why? Well, because here you have the moose right over there, right? And if the moose isn't there, it will spawn over there behind that hill. In addition, you got rabbits. We walk past them just over there. You got wolves on the ice in case you want to hunt wolves. You got deer over on the ice over there as well. Ptarmigans, I think there's some ptarmigans like up here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. You got the fishing hut as well. And then over there is a bear cave with a bear. So you got pretty much everything you need. Compacted into one base, you got everything here. So in terms of the most efficient base, I would say this is the best one. It also connects fairly easily to Blackrock, which is up here, Ash Canyon, which is not far that way, and of course back to Pleasant Valley that way. So it's a pretty good region overall. It is more on the edge of the world, you know, up here, but it is a great region, and this space is fantastic. The only drawback is that even though this is without a loading screen, this does count as being indoors, but it has less of a warmth bonus than other places. So if this was a hut that you would load, like you click the door and you would load into an indoor location like Trappers, then you would be always warm in here. But because this is actually outdoors and you got a hole in the roof, you can get cold. So if your clothing is good enough, you can just treat this like any other cabin. You can sleep through a blizzard in here, no problem. However, if your clothing isn't good enough, there is a risk that you fall asleep here and then the blizzard hits and you get cold. So that can happen. That is the only real drawback of this base. But for a late game main base approach, yeah, this is a great base. Well, that's just my opinion. What is your favorite base? Let me know. Okay, so we got ropes. We won't be needing the ropes, but we got another flare shell. That's great. Simple arrow. We'll pick everything up for now. On the head is always something. Down vest. Got some books. Leave that here. Got a aviator cap. Cool. Northern. Stylish.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
We got a fishing book. Got a flare. And these things, I always just ignore these because you can read it. The first time you find them, you read them. But this one is a bit different though, because it actually talks about climbers. And if you turn it around, I don't know if you ever noticed, but it has a map on it. Let's see if we can flip it. See? Got a map on it. Stone Hut, as they call it here. And then they got an arch over there that's up the river. The wing, which is where you got some containers, and rope, which to climb up, which you don't need to climb, but here we are. So I don't know if you ever noticed that there's a map behind this thing, but here we are. Very cool. And we got hunting knife.
That'll come in handy.
Yeah, we got that. Lines, fishing tackles, another one of these. Let's see what else. I mean, I'll take it, so it's not still there. Pork and beans, spray paint, matches. I think you always find matches. And Interloper, this is a guaranteed spawn. I think on lower difficulties also, it's just one of those places where you always find matches. A load of wood. another message. This is a survival hint. I think this is the Echo Ravine. And then we got all this. We can actually map this. There we go, mountain is hut. And then we got this hatch here.
Thank goodness.
Hey, cooking pot, sweet. Alright, so I want to put on the aviator's cap, but I need to repair it first. Let's try and repair it. Hey, 97. Very good. You can see it's pretty much as good as a wool toque. However, it does give better wind resistance. And also it gives more protection. So there is that. So we want to put that on instead of the wool toque. And also it's stylish. And the rest we don't need. So let's put some stuff away. First of our clothing. And we're going to put some matches in here. So we don't need to carry all this stuff with us. We're going to put a bunch of matches in here. Bunch of matches. Put a book in there too. Put one of the bandages in there. Tools. Put one of the firearm cleaning kits. Put one of the flares. Put the tip up. We don't need the fishing tackles for now. I'll leave those in here. We can leave 2 sewing kits in here. Spray paint. Recycle can. Hacksaw. I have an improvised knife. We'll take the hunting knife instead because it's lighter. And what else? We can put the feathers in there. We can put scrap metal. We can put the cloth except for one. We need to put the saplings to cure. So that can be curing. Anything else? I don't think so. We can craft the birch. Do that. We could craft rose hips too, but we don't really need to. Alright, so I think we're more or less done with that. Let's refuel our storm lantern. And we don't need to carry the rose hips around, really. Not really. We got painkillers, so let's just drop these in here. What else can I drop to make it a bit lighter? So now I got these 2, cooking pots and skillets. So I always carry those around. So I always carry 1 pot and 1 skillet. Mostly because of making water with a cooking pot and then potentially cooking frontier stuff with a skillet. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm boring you. I'm going to carry a thermos around. We don't need the bullets for now. So I guess we could leave those here for the moment. Let's put a torch in here too. And one of the whetstones. Food, we got a bunch of food. Let's put the crackers in here for the moment. And let's put pork and beans in here because it's heavy. And I guess that's it for now. The rest are very, very light. I might carry the light food with me instead. So, and leave the moose meat here. Just so I eat other stuff that's lighter. And I think that's better, yeah. Yeah, now we're much lighter, which should be good for the thingy. Get to summit. Lots of misc loot in mountain hut. Someone followed me. I can't seem to disable those sound alerts, but here we are. Okay. I think that's it for now, really, yeah. So the next step is the summit. Is there anything to repair? Not really. We need to get better jeans than this, but we'll probably find combat pants up there, or snow pants. Snow pants is good. What we needed the summit, really, is in the summit, we're going to find probably snow pants, which we'll use instead of these, and maybe instead of even the deerskin. We want to get the thermal underwear, not these ones, but the long johns, which are the red ones. We want to find those. We want to find better boots. These are alright, but work boots or insulated boots are better. We want to find something better here, like Cowichan sweaters or thin wool sweaters. And these will be replaced with Expedition Parkers, probably. And maybe an air wrap, although that will be replaced eventually by insulation layer, I think. Or crampons, isn't it? Maybe. So we got a few things to define. And of course a rifle. So we're going to go up there. We're going to loot everything. Basically gear ourselves to our teeth. And then we're going to go into Ash Canyon. That's what we're going to go do. Then go to AC and set up shop. And I look forward to that. Ash Canyon is a fantastic region. Okay, do you have any books or anything? Because I might as well read this fishing. Might as well read fishing though, I guess. Let's just read it. Here comes that blizzard. I don't think we can read actually a whole hour. I think we'll be tired, yeah. You can put that back in. There we go. And let's just eat some stuff. Let's do the lowest condition stuff first. Oh, I did have a coffee. Oh, yeah. Oh well. Let's eat some sardines too. Has hydration in it. There we go. Water. Need to make more water soon. That'll be alright. And then I think we want to sleep. We can wait a little bit longer though. Yeah, I think this is good enough. And then we can sleep until morning. And as you can see, it's -1 right now. But on the bed, it'll be 5 degrees. Now, I think we can sleep all the way there. But just to be safe, put maybe like 4 hours and see if it changes. It's already a blizzard, and it's not going to get much worse. But it does get colder in the night though. So just to be safe, put 4 hours. Right. Blizzard ended. So now if you click, it's but see, the blizzard ended, but now it's actually colder than when the blizzard was raging. It was -2. That's because it had gotten colder in the night. But it's warming up, see? The reason it's warming up is because the blizzard ended, but the game hasn't like caught up yet. So it's warming up. You'll see the same thing here. It will warm up to 3 now, you'll see. Keep going. So it's not going to be a blizzard again, and even if there is a blizzard, we're not going to die to it. So we can just do this. We'll put 10 hours. We're not going to sleep 10 hours, but nevertheless. And there we are, we're fully rested. How about that? And that's, I think, where we're going to leave you for now. So now here we are in Timberwolf Mountain. We moved finally from Desolation Point. Spent 3 weeks there effectively.
Almost anything about now.
But we're looking solid. We don't really need anything. Maybe some water, I guess, but we'll be fine. And now we are going to the summit, and we're going to get all that good loot. Come back here, re-equip, resituate, arm ourselves to the teeth. Head to Ash Canyon, get that backpack, and then conquer Ash Canyon, and it's going to be great. Ash Canyon is a fantastic region. A lot of people don't like it because they find it intimidating, but there's a lot of stuff to see in Ash Canyon. A lot of little things to loot, a lot of little things to find, and it's fun to explore, it is. So I look forward to doing that. But first, we got to go to the summit, but that will be next time. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this episode, despite it being pretty much just me walking and looting and talking with a hoarse voice after I'm recovering from being quite sick, but I fancied getting back into it. So yeah, that was it for this time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time, probably with a cleaner voice, but we'll see how long this thing lasts. In any case, see you next time, survivors. Bye bye.